Big up, good morning. Before we start this session now, I want to see comments before we disseminate the news. I want to see thumbs up, I want to see comments. I want to make sure say we did live, so time not going to be wasted. We just don't do a 30-minute episode, and it look like say, a void. Officially I tell all this not corruption. I don't see one person don't they come in. So it look like say we dey on live now. Again, now we problems in this now African poverty. Now that I will start with first and foremost. I will start on previously. We get malaria, we get typhoid, all this and disease infections there with they kill. We get HIV, we get AIDS. A few years ago they give we Ebola, etc. All this now infections there or disease there where they kill. But one of the biggest disease where they control or where they partake a toll for my own people there in this part of we world, now Africa, now in poverty. Poverty na bad sick. We will therefore eradicate this sickness. A very bad also when they talk about this poverty. Now make what it take place now every places in Africa here. In this West African coast, Tego East Africa, because of poverty. So now we find way for eradicate poverty. Also, I emphasize say education will able for help we. Education will able for eradicate poverty. Now we prioritize what we call education. Where you get money, person go jealous you. Where you become educated, believe say person go most jealous you also. Education na power, knowledge na power. Comrade them, parents them, we not enforce against signal difficulties. But let we continue. Pardon me, signal difficulties. Parents them for enforce. Let you picking go to school. Let in land book. If you not get self better thing at the pocket, you get what we call knowledge. You be able to compete with other people in the world. Globally, the world is very competitive. Now remember that. Knowledge na power. Lord, we fight for eradicate poverty. Okada riders them. Before we continue again, we got advice for the Okada riders them. This they take place in a salon. Where we Okada riders then can overpass or one overtake or one pass a vehicle. They do on the left side. On the left side, now the wrong side for overpass a vehicle. You defend Ali death. Now Ali die, you look for. More one can get passengers them also. You want to kill yourself and the passenger. Where you want to overtake a vehicle, land for overtake now the right side. I repeat, I be say earlier, if a vehicle want to make a right turn, then you don't notice. At least if you go for linger, you will linger until you fall on the right side. It never kill you. But if a vehicle they try to make a left, a not signal, then you want to go overpass. Now flash the flash you go. Or if other vehicle they come on the opposite side, and then they flash you, then they get at you and push you go before. They shovel you proper one, and shovel una. So when I take time, when I stop this habit in a salon, for go to overpass or overtake on the left side. A very bad, Then we policemen working in a street, they wording them. When I need for they enforce this, when they teach them bikers there, or have a ride. Because most of them they get license, but not go driving school. Most of them not even get license. Some they get license, but not go to driving school. So they need to know the rules and regulations the way they can to the streets. It's very important. I want to hit that and get rid of that quickly. We need to move to the next. On to the next. Severe blighted. I'll push her, so I will push them back. Severe blighting. Don't donate 100 bags of cement to 34 military hospital. And this now First Lady in project. For rehabilitate military hospital. 34 military hospital. Now with my force. I talked this earlier. Even soldier man, they afraid for going to soldier hospital. Because die the day. Soldier man no like usai die day. So Germany need to go outside that day. So then get hospital there, one of military hospitals there, But they know they go there. They rather go to civilian hospital. They rather go to civilian hospital. So I believe Senator make we first lady take this initiative for rehabilitate 34 military hospital. You know, for rehabilitate them. Well, severe bleeding, don't go donate 100 bags of cement. You know, the opposition, APC, SLPP, when they see the two women they coordinate, they work together. When they hope say the man for they do the same thing. The two oppositions them, APC, SLPP, when they hope say the man for coordinate and work together. As much as the woman they are they coordinate to do the same. You know, for better this we country here. You know, so severe bleeding what I say back earlier. Well, they knock a own party on APC. You know, the party who say belong. We know say the previously be the SLPP, don't carry APC, now they knock APC, but APC don't put on at the bench. APC don't put on at the bench. And always the advocates or the push say the best player there, and then always in at the bench, they don't bench on. But best player in the fetch for verse. You know? So Severe Blood in the fetch for verse because you know saying that the best player at the team of APC. Same thing with Charles Muslims and Sabi put back earlier. Big up to that. You know, best player in the fetch for vest. We just can't make difference still. You know, and work as a team. A team player. You know, a team player. Now a player we need to lose. A team player. Let me continue. So big up to Silver Blading for 100 bags of cement to 34 military hospital. We hope so they go use them. You know, we hope so they go use them. Put them in good use. You know. Let's go on to the next. Well, SLPP don't face what we call, you know, overbridge, pedestrian bridge, you know, overbridge, overhead bridge for people there for go they pass. You know, students them, people them, anybody now, we want to cross the street. And then pedestrians bridge there, now for highways them. Well, the highway they will get in Salon are not qualified for what we call a highway. Are just regular roads them. You know, but we'll call it highway for Salon setting. You know, but we'll compare the highway they are getting a Salon with the international and not match or not fit. You know, but we'll go manage Freetown Highway and Sina Highway. Well, anyway, instead will be force, they don't go put pedestrian bridge for make sure say students or people there for go they pass. Because we not get too many words in STEM, or we not get word in STEM for go to control traffic. You know? So people then go to use this pedestrian bridge for crossover and pass. It makes sense? No. This now should be business. It don't make sense. I should be business. See I'm back earlier, so I go repeat some. You know? I should be business. I either go paint a house, the beginning and the suffer. The beginning not eat it. They go paint the house. They try to make outside look fine, but inside, man and they starve, man and they complain, man and they grumble. They begin and they starve. It makes sense? It don't make sense. So we not say the airport now a necessity for make the airport because I in a commerce, the first can business inside. You know, at least that's at the first stage. One person where they come off at the first introduction to Salon. You know, the airport it's necessary. But then pedestrian bridge there, is necessary? No. Now camouflage. I should be business. For buy me and you know, for vote. That's no idea about. So let me continue. SLPP, I want to say they never do them, but not to the right way. They never do them, not to the right way. Now let me go back inside DRC. Congo. Now we're talking about the DRC. Discuss small earlier about the conflict we're on the Legon inside Congo since 2012. Since 2012, the M23 rebel system where they counter government, you know, DRC. And DRC, they accuse Rwanda for support their M23 rebels there. We've been on the talk of their issues there, you know, since last year. We've been hope say peace for don't come by now. But up to now, the peace talk is not possible. You know? So what's happened recently, 5th of January 2023, around this Rumangambo town, M23 be they occupy this area. You know? So what's happened? We'll get what we call the East African force system, where fair way for mitigate the issue, we talk to the M23 rebels there, say, when I need for left this town here, when I need for left this city here, when I need for left this area here, for certain reason. You know? I guess this East African force, now they're not more able to talk to the rebel groups there, the EAC, East African Community. Now they're not more able to talk to the rebel groups there. So what's happened? The rebel groups there, this month here, they agree, say, they go come out, now certain tongues, they don't go occupy. For peace sake. For peace sake. But then lie. Then talk, say, they go hand over the tongue. They go move. They go left the base. Even they capture one of the military base, you know, now that area they need, you know, around this room, Mangambo town. They capture a military base. But no say DRC, no able counter. You know, the DRC military personnel them, no able counter the M23 rebels there. You know, vividly, the Depa mash up, the Depa advance for go towards the city, Guma. The Depa mash up. So what's in there going on now? Let me understand. The M23 rebels there, they came to prominence around 2012 when they be first captured again Guma, the city. They don't capture this city at Guma 2012. Well, the Depa mash up again for go capture Guma again for the second time. Same thing with the Tigrayan rebels there inside Ethiopia. Then back one go still continue for mash up and capture Addis Ababa. It go happen or it no go happen. But now they continue this talk here. So the M23 rebels, and they don't capture all their territories there in the eastern parts of DRC. The eastern parts of DRC. You know, including the key town, Bunagana close to Uganda borderline area. You know, all the countries they are involved by this mess. Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, DRC, all involved by this mess. I make clear, I believe. And Rwanda not for involved by this mess. Again, I talk of what will take place inside Rwanda. You know, the conflict will take place. The most diabolic thing will ever take place inside Africa, yeah. The tribal sentiment, them kill themselves, plenty inside Rwanda. You know, that genocide business. And the world will not interfere for mitigate the issue, for make sure, say, no tribal sentiments or conflicts don't take place inside Rwanda. So Rwanda for don't be a country where they advocate or where they push for stop them tribal sentiments there. Rwanda. But up to now, they accuse Rwanda saying that they support M23 rebels them. So this they try for tell we say Rwanda not learn nothing from the genocide. Rwanda not learn nothing from the genocide. Or I believe say also Rwanda they try for blame DRC for the young genocide will be take place 3 years ago. Maybe now you make, you know, Rwanda also they contribute by DRC the mess. You know? But now we continue. And the Congolese army, the Congolese army, or the DRC them, well, then call the handover or the promise for the M23 they make a shame or a sham. You know, they make a promise for left, then territories they are, the eastern parts, but then lie. Then they left. Then plan for grip, then territories they are. Then plan for all, then territories they are. They never left. And this talk when they talk, or the promise when they make, now just a design for me to move their troop from one locality to another locality for forward the march, for going inside Guma. For forward the march going inside Guma. And that's no more a lie. A lie and lie. So, again, this lie based on the agreement where they between M23 rebels them and DRC. Agreements be done there between M23 rebels them and DRC. You know, ceasefire, part of the ceasefire for incorporate or for integrate the rebels there into the military. Or then rebels there into society. And I don't think say DRC ready for do that. Salon will be do that after the civil war. Will be accepting rebels there for mix with society. Will not create any judgment. You know, will be asked all man for go disarm. Now stadium, it no matter how you. Any weapon you get, go left in a stadium. If, for that matter, said if they give man back money, for go left and weapons in a stadium. If they give man money, you know. So now this they want inside DRC. Let the rebels there go turn in the weapons them, and me not only accountable for nothing. Well, I don't think say DRC go do that. So now make this war they take place up to now. Now make this war they go on up to now. And then you clashes there don't start again. From January this month here, the 6th, they hope say it go stop to the mid of this month, but not lie. It will continue as stars will emphasize, or as stars will they see things them. This conflict will continue till next month, or maybe till the year they done. You know? Because one word not carry it between them groups there. Or the East African community not able to put the junta them or the rebel groups them with the government for me to get one word. You know? And I'll be listening all out into the conflict. And that to take place inside DRC. So the withdrawal from Kimbumba is not possible. It's not possible. You know, from also Rumangambo is not possible. The fight still continue. The fight still continue. And then rebels say, if governments not agree for incorporate, then junta there, I don't think say the business go stop. It not go stop. The peace talk not go stop. So with a beg there is African communities there for take step. For the peace real inside East Africa, especially inside DRC. Because if that does not take place, we end up for experience the same thing inside West Africa. We end up for experience the same thing inside West Africa. Now let we jump to the next. You know, Guinea. Let we jump to the next. Guinea. We experience the same thing inside West Africa. Guinea. Inside Guinea, Conakry, Guinea. All things done yin. All things done yin. All things done quiet. You never get any updates from Guinea. The junta don't put all things on lock. Mamadi Doumbouya don't put all things on lock. France 24, they give the world no news. No news, no updates. Al Jazeera not gets nothing for Teluna. CNN not even care. BBC not in their business. Let me continue. So inside Guinea, before I continue, I want to emphasize this word again, the BLOC, the block, not to block, block, BLOC. Block. What you don't understand, this West African coast, ECOWAS don't agree to the junta in rulings them or in demands them. But ECOWAS not come and announce this to you. Say they don't agree, say the junta for stolen power, say 2025. ECOWAS not announce, tell me this talk here. You know, we presidents not announce, tell me this talk here. You know, now just to themselves, when the junta don't go take over, ECOWAS, but they talk, say they go pull the junta, about who talk? Other useless community, ECOWAS. Another useless community, ECOWAS. They not just say they go pull the junta. The junta not even listen to themselves. Then threaten the junta say they go create stipulations them. They not go allow them for travel. They go block their accounts them. Like say the junta concerned about saying things there. You able to block the junta in account? You able to block the junta not for travel? All this now big full talk what ECOWAS be get. Well, what in this block BLOC mean or what it represents? Now groups or countries there where get the same political interests or alliance. So this old West African coast don't agree to the junta, say for the in power until 2025. Then another alliance, we can say the international community, you know, then don't agree, say the junta for the in power until 2025. Well, if the international community agrees, say junta for them into power or for them in power until 2025, that means they're not ready for exploits Guinea. And Guinea no poor. Inside West Africa, yeah, Guinea are one of the richest countries them also. At this West African coast. A rich past saloon. They get minerals and past saloon. Nobody inside Guinea not for be poor. All man inside Guinea for be rich. All man inside Guinea for be rich. Nobody not for be poor inside Guinea. Nobody. So if say the international community don't agree to a junta ruling, must not say another exploitation day in the making. Another exploitation day in the making. So the biggest sickness, for conclude this quickly, the biggest sickness, whoa, they don't put with the African stem, now poverty. Now we sickness this. Now we sickness this. Poverty. We need for fight for eradicate poverty. We need for fight for eradicate poverty. If we eradicate poverty and develop Africa, we're able to put the minerals into use. As stated some earlier, the white man go come out from Europe, go they can work for we in Africa. The white man go come out Europe, go and can live in Africa. The white man go they come out to Europe for can buy things in Africa for go sell in their own country. Not so we the Africans again go buy and can markets now. And then go they can buy go markets in their own countries them. Now this make Africa develop. Now this make let me you see what's in our prosperity. They go always they tangle we, mix up we, box up we, follow we fetch we self. I make a stats and area say we biggest sick or we biggest disease now poverty. We now fair way for eradicate this sickness and help this we coast here for better. With generations then for better. We begin here for better. We now stay blessed. Now boy against us Muslims the servants aka Bepeko and anything what we get from Guinea, I go bash and give you know? But just know say ECOWAS don't fail me and you. If ECOWAS fail me and you, the international community not care about me and you. They will continue for fail me and you. Take go. We now stay blessed.